I can't tell you it gets better, but I can tell you that you get stronger. This is where I officially came out, but this isn't where my coming out story takes place. So it is middle of the night, 2 a.m., sleep-deprived editor me, and that was a 15-minute rant of me telling the story of my experience coming out to my parents, and I've decided to cut that because it was a little bit too judgy. I just want to set some foundational layers of just saying, hey, you know what? It's 2021. We gotta accept the fact that life is an ever-evolving, ever-flowing, ever-adapting coming out process. And labels only mean what you want them to mean. So with that, my coming out story. Coming out isn't easy. It shouldn't be a thing. It should be, I would like to say that we just abolish coming out now. Like, it's 2021. Just, you know, love and accept everyone around you. It shouldn't be an issue. But if it is an issue for you, and if someone's watching this, and they feel like I did in 2011, 10 years ago, whoa, 10 years ago, okay, and you feel really scared and frightened and threatened, and you don't know what it's going to mean for you in your future if you're gay or bi or pansexual or transgendered or non-binary or gender fluid or anything that our society tells us is different, wrong, and evil. Society's lying. Society's lying to you, because there's nothing wrong with you. You are so, so beautiful and so much stronger than you realize. And I really hope that there's a supportive adult in your life, who can uplift you and affirm you and tell you that it's going to be okay, because I wouldn't have survived without those adults in my life. And if you don't have that adult in your life, I can be that adult for you. I'm not much of an adult, but I've been there. I've been there, and I can't tell you it gets better, but I can tell you that you get stronger. You become more assured of yourself, you become more confident, you become more stronger in your own power and more resilient to bullshit that people want to throw at you. I didn't think this would be this hard. I had gone over this a million times in my head. Okay, this is where my coming out story takes place. I was a senior in high school, and I had been spending the last year or so hanging out more with my favorite teacher in school, Mr. Neiman. He wasn't out at the time. He ended up coming out, I think, my senior year or possibly the year after I left high school. But he was the leader of the Gay Straight Alliance Club here on campus. And when I was in 11th grade, he and his partner saw me in a high school production of a show. And he pulled me aside, Mr. Neiman pulled me aside after the show and quietly and calmly and excitedly introduced me to his partner. And his partner really was the one who kind of changed my life. But his partner was really involved with a professional regional theater in the area. And he told me that they were going to be doing Hairspray for the next season, and then auditions were in 2 weeks. And he thought that I would be perfect as cast as Tracy Turnblad. So he encouraged me to audition, and long story short, I got the part. It was amazing. Anyway, so that was 2011. And I would spend the rest of my junior year spending a lot of time here with Mr. Neiman on his lunch breaks, and just talking about my life, my personal life. I knew he was gay, and I knew a lot of my friends were gay, or queer, or actually queer wasn't really a word when I was in high school, but bi. I had a lot of friends that were bi. And so I would come here and I would ask Mr. Neiman about his experience, because I loved all my bi friends. I loved all my gay friends. I loved Mr. Neiman. And everything that I had been learning about at home was that these people were gonna get sent to hell for being who they were, for loving who they do. So I would talk to Mr. Neiman about that, and I would be like, hey, guess what? What I'm hearing at home doesn't fit right in my heart. It doesn't make sense to me. Can you help me help it make sense? And we talked about it, and he gave me some resources that I never eventually read. But basically, he was just the first adult in my life who I felt like I could actually come to with my fears and my problems, and they would listen to me, and they would comfort me, and they would guide me. So he was the first adult who would comfort me and would guide me. And this became very, very important later on. It was my senior year of high school, and I remember being in theater class, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what sparked it inside of me, but all of a sudden, just the realization washed over me, and I knew I was bi, and I couldn't handle that information, knowing what was waiting for me at home. And I was really overwhelmed with emotion, and I got it from that theater class, and I don't know if I said anything to my friends, but I ran out of it. And I ran out of it, and I ran all the way down the hallway to right here. And right as I got to this classroom, Mr. Neiman, you were coming out of the classroom, and I practically barreled into you sobbing. And I just remember you wrapped me in a really, really big hug because you didn't know what was wrong, but you could tell that I was upset. And I remember crying, being so scared that I was bi and not knowing what was gonna happen to me. And you just took me in a really big hug and told me that everything was gonna be okay. And so the rest of the year, you know, it passed pretty uneventfully. I don't think we talked about it that much. I do remember one time you asked me how it was going or how I was feeling, and I think that was because you noticed that I had been spending a lot of time with Maggie Schaefer. I really wanted to spend time with her. She was really cool, cream of the crop. And I definitely had a huge crush on her. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is thank you. Thank you, Mr. Neiman, for being you. Thank you for saving my life. You really did save my life in so many more ways than you know. Like, the hairspray thing aside, I could be grateful to you for a million years for that opportunity. But most importantly, I really feel like you saved my life because you always believed in me. If you didn't grow up with a super loving, stable, supportive, affirming parental environment, you probably spent way too much time thinking about the few supportive adults you've had in your life, and just wishing that you somehow were able to stay in contact with them so that way you could tell them that you were doing okay and that you were doing okay, and just to say thank you. So that's what I'm trying to do. As crucial as Mr. Neiman was to my coming out story and to me ultimately accepting myself, I wouldn't have been as joyously happy as I was in high school if it wasn't for this building and the people in this room. Mr. Franz, thank you so much. You taught me how to live, you taught me dedication, you taught me how to live intentionally, which I think is so important and has really carried me through the years. To Annie and Mr. Peabody and all of the other students who used to hang around here, you made this place what it is. Those years when I was here, they were amazing. They were the happiest years of my life. It was just a time of magic and art and playing and make-believe. And theater. Who doesn't love theater? Theater is like Halloween, but every single day of the year. It's fantastic. And if there's anything that this last year has taught me, it's you gotta stay true to yourself. You gotta do the things that make you happy. You gotta do the things that fill you with joy and spirit. The things that you love, because that's ultimately what's most important in this world. We're not here to hate ourselves and to have a bad time. We're here to live joyously, we're here to love others, we're here to love ourselves. It's been a long, long, hard 10 years since I was last here. But to everyone who was here with me 10 years ago, thank you so much for making these the happiest times of my life. And even though it was 10 years ago, I really hope we get to see each other again sometime soon. I think my time's here's up and I gotta go. But I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for always supporting me and believing in me. And I'm doing okay now. At least I know I will be okay. And I just want to pass on your legacy and support other queer youth who are scared and don't know what's going on, and tell them that they're gonna be okay, because you are. You're gonna be more than okay. You're gonna be fantastic. You're gonna flourish. You're gonna experience things that you never even thought you could experience. Love deeper than you ever thought you could know. I love you. That got pretty heavy for a bit, and we gotta do better to protect our babies. So babies, if any of that resonated with you, if any of that feels like you, I want to give you hope. I want to show you that there's a better way. I want to show myself that there's a better way than just not wanting to be here or wanting to do the undo. So I know that like Pride is technically over, but it's not, at least not with me. Look, the party never stops with me. And if you need some fun, queer energy, you know where to find me. And I'm always happy to hang out with you. I love you. Take care of yourself. And give some love to mom and dad for me. Mwah! So thanks. That's it. That was dramatic high school me.